The father, who chose love over everything the night, was heavy with silence, broken only by the shallow breaths of a little girl asleep on a worn-out couch. Her tiny hand clutched the sleeve of her father's shirt, as if letting go would mean losing him forever. He sat beside her, his eyes staring blankly at the peeling paint of the walls. His mind tangled in worries no parent should carry alone. The world had taken so much from him, his wife, his job, his dreams, but one thing it could never take was his love for the little girl whose presence kept him alive. From the moment his wife passed away, the man's life had been split in two: the life he once had, and the life he was forced to build from the ashes. Every day was a battle. The bills piled up higher than the groceries, his clothes grew older than his years, and the whispers from neighbors cut deeper than hunger. "He can't raise her alone," they would say. "A child needs more than love." But he knew they were wrong. Love wasn't just a feeling, it was fuel, it was fire, it was the one thing that gave him the strength to rise every morning and face the impossible. His daughter Amina was 6. Her laughter was the only light in his dim world, and her questions were endless. "Baba, why don't we live like the other children? Why can't we buy new clothes? Why don't we ever go to restaurants?" Every time, he smiled and pulled her close, hiding the ache in his chest. "Because, my little star, we have something better. Each other." But love, as strong as it was, didn't pay school fees. And one day he stood in the principal's office, staring at the papers in his trembling hands. "You must understand," the principal said gently. "Education costs money. Without it, she cannot continue." He walked home that day with Amina skipping beside him, unaware of the storm in his heart. When she asked why he was so quiet, he forced a smile. "Just tired, my star. Baba will figure it out," and he did. Worked 3 jobs. His hands blistered from labor, his back bent under the weight of exhaustion. There were nights he went hungry so Amina could have a full plate. Days when he stood outside toy shops, staring at the dolls she longed for, only to walk away because rent came first. Yet he never let her see his struggle. To her, he was a hero. To him, she was the reason he kept fighting. But the hardest choice came one winter evening. His brother, wealthier and well-settled, came to visit. He looked at the small house, the worn furniture, and the child with patched clothes. "Can't keep doing this," he said firmly. "Let me take her. I can give her a better life, everything she needs. A big house, new clothes, good schools. She deserves more than this." The father's heart stopped. Every word stabbed him with truth. His brother could offer Amina what he could not. A life without hunger. A life without struggle. It would mean giving her up. It would mean empty evenings without her laughter, silent nights without her hugs. It would mean choosing survival over love. That night he sat awake watching his daughter sleep, his tears falling quietly. He touched her hair, whispered her name, and asked himself the hardest question a father could face. Should I let her go? At dawn, when his brother returned for an answer, the father stood tall, his voice steady despite the storm inside. "No," he said. "May not have the richest clothes, the finest toys, or the grandest house. But she has my love, and I will give her every piece of my soul before I give her away. She is not a burden I need help with. She is my purpose. And no matter how hard it gets, I will choose her. I will always choose her." His brother shook his head in disbelief, but the father didn't waver. For he knew that love, though invisible, was more powerful than wealth. Years passed, and the little girl grew. She saw the sacrifices her father made, the nights he came home exhausted, the dreams he put aside so hers could come alive. She worked hard, studied harder, and rose beyond the weight of her circumstances. On her graduation day, she walked across the stage in her gown, holding her diploma with trembling hands. As the crowd cheered, her eyes searched for only one face, the man who had given her everything, even when he had nothing. She ran into his arms afterward, tears streaming down her face. "Baba," she whispered, "you chose love over everything, and that love gave me everything I ever needed." And in that moment, the man realized he had never failed. The world may measure success in wealth and possessions, but true success was raising a child who understood love. Because love was not just enough, it was everything.